Alright, are you keeping up with the train of thought? We're trying. Alright, let's keep tracking with it. The next important aspect of the technology of handling money is the bean theory. Here's a quote. Finance is best understood as a commodity in terms of beans. So many beans issued to an activity and so many more beans back. L. Ron Hubbard. The conclusion in that quote is quite obvious. But is that what really happens in life? Very often I suggest to people that they do the following. You come home, take a piece of paper and a pen and make a list of all the things in your surroundings that you've used, are not using, and are not about to use. At that moment they say, "You're right, there are such things." You know, it's interesting, but sometimes people will look at buying a house from the viewpoint that it's a good house if it has a lot of various, places for keeping old things. That's curious. The question is, what are these old things for? But right now, that's not what I'm talking about. The thing is that in life we make a lot of purchases which give us absolutely nothing in the final analysis. They're not beans that we sow and then they sprout and give us something back. These are things that don't improve our lives or move us forward. The same thing goes for a company. If you analyze what you bought and the amount of things that remain totally unused, that is, they didn't bring any growth to your business, we could say you violated that very same bean theory we were talking about. And there is another very important term, which is our next term, and that's credit. Credit does not entirely deal with money. It has everything to do with confidence and reliability. To try to assign credit to the amount of money available is completely false. You can have lots of money and horrible credit. You could have little money and excellent credit. So, saying our income has been poor so our credit is bad is a lie. L. Ron Hubbard. As far as I know, the situation your company is in right now happened for the exact reason of bad credit. Didn't it? That's exactly right. If you had good credit, note carefully, this definition says that the amount of money does not influence credit. You could have a lot of money and horrible credit, or you could have little money and at the same time have great credit. Which means that credit is sort of an airbag that you didn't have at the moment you needed it. And that's why right now you're undergoing certain difficulties. So, you have to use this airbag, so to say, at the right moment, when the company is not doing well. So if you had the possibility to refinance your credit, or find some more money somewhere to handle the dangerous situation that came into being and flying at you from the bank, then you probably wouldn't be sitting here, and that's the way it is. Definitely. So, there is something that you didn't do right. Do you agree? We do. And here we get another very important conclusion. That credit rating is achieved by the way you pay bills. Only pay by this system. Pay everything up to a date, always, and no further. L. Ron Hubbard. As far as I know, you have a few suppliers, or let's call them creditors actually, that you owe money to. Is that right? Yeah, they exist. And usually people don't pay their debts based on the principle that was just mentioned, by dateline, meaning that we start paying the bill in full from the oldest one. But usually people pay those bills, or those creditors who scream the loudest, or demand the most. Imagine this situation. Let's say that I owe you money to all four of you. And the first on the list, or the oldest date, is the bill from Vova. But Dasha is screaming the loudest. She's telling me, Vlad, give me my money or I'll tra-la-la-la-la. She's threatening. She's on my case. So, to appease her in some way or form, I say, of course, Dasha, here you go. So, how do the rest of you react? Vova understands that in order to get his money, what is it he has to do? Shout. Shout. He has to demand and threaten me and so forth. But if I created a system of paying debts by dateline, then I'll behave in this way. This is what I say. Dasha, you're the third on my list. The first person I'm going to pay is Vova, because that's an earlier account. You see, this is what could happen. You owe someone a lot, and you could get this sort of an idea. When I save this much up, I'll pay it. But still, it isn't quite saving up. And isn't saving up. And still isn't saving up. And you haven't paid, and haven't still paid it, and haven't paid it after all. Tell me this, how's your credit in this case? It's low. It's non-existent. But if you meet up, and let's say that you owe, I don't know, $100,000, and at the same time you don't foresee the possibility of paying it, you sit down with him and you agree on it, you say, I'm going to pay you $10,000 a month, and this will go on for 10 months. Tell me, if you now follow this time schedule and you pay this money, how is your credit level? A lot better than before. It's totally different. Do you agree? Because if you don't pay this $100,000 and just don't pay, and still don't pay it, although you appear to have the idea of paying it off, then this person that you owe it to, is he going to lend you money again? No. And is he going to tell others to lend you money? No, he won't. Right. Except sometimes it happens that they will advocate you borrowing money so that you can pay him, right? But now you owe someone else. What we're talking about here is that if you pay the bills by dateline, starting with the earliest bill first, then your credit is going to look totally different. And I would strongly urge you to consider that specific aspect of your company when you do the financial planning. I guarantee that if you start doing it, then that exact thing will steer you out of your predicament. Well, alright, these were the basics and fundamentals having to do with finance. Oh, so that's all we have to know about money? No. You're now ready to talk about the most important things.